Yes, thank you very much for joining us again in the conversation coming to you from TV 360 here in Lagos, Nigeria. My name is Nelson Ekujumi, and I still have with me in the studio Comrade Murphy Abadoni, a public affairs analyst. Comrade Murphy, thank you for still being with us on the program.
It's my pleasure, Baba.
Yes, today we want to look at this other topic of the lifting of the Forex restrictions on 43 items. I recollect that when former President Muhammadu Buhari's administration assumed the reins of power in 2015, one of the first actions they took was, to place a ban on Forex accessibility for 43 items because of the depletion of the foreign reserves. And just some few days ago, the Central Bank of Nigeria brought out a memo lifting these restrictions on these 43 items. Among these items are rice, cement, toothpick, and what have you. For me, as a Nigerian, I was disturbed because I felt, in as much as we are complaining bitterly about the dwindling fortunes of the naira vis-a-vis other international currency, I'm of the opinion that is it that we have been able to resolve our liquidity, issues with regards to, foreign, with regards to the forex market to meet the demands that these new items will generate in that market. Because I know one of the factors responsible for the dwindling fortune of the naira is because of the loss of supply. The supply angle of the dollar for people to import, products and services is on the lower side. And opening this window now for these 43 items, I'm like, what is going on? But if you look at the last 8 years, you would have seen that part of the reasons why those items were banned was to allow for local production of these goods and services. But sadly, as much as government has invested in these goods and services through, for example, the Anchors Borers program of the CBN for rice production, we have seen that one of the biggest threats to our existence as a people today is food inflation. So I'm like, if those who have, at the end of affairs, have thought it fit to lift these restrictions, I want to believe that they must have crossed their eyes and dotted their eyes and crossed their T's to recognize that this lifting of this restriction, is it that it will have an effect of bringing down the prices of these goods such that the local producer is not imperiled with the competition that he or she will face from those who want to access Forex to procure these items for our local market. What's your take on it?
Well, first of all, we were all here when the previous administration decided to place a ban on certain items through the Central Bank of Nigeria then. And what was the idea? The previous administration had a program which was aimed at ensuring that we are food sufficient.
Yes, boosting local.
Aimed at ensuring that local production is boosted. That was a fantastic one, because for some of those that are watching, they may say, but people like you supported the idea then.
Yes, absolutely. I
supported it.
Yes.
I supported the idea.
Yes.
And let me even state it here that a man that is sick does not stop swallowing medications until you get well.
Until you get better, yes.
It's an obvious fact that we have challenges. And those are the helms of leadership. We continue to look for solution until we get it right. So the previous administration did what they did. Like you have mentioned, they even went as far as empowering farmers.
Absolutely.
They went as far as dishing out several government intervention programs.
In fact, the investment in agriculture by the last administration was unprecedented.
It was massive.
It was massive.
But it was abused too,
No,
that is a different topic for another day. So
yes.
I must say that I'm not, in as much as I embrace the current policy, I'm not going to rubbish the previous
No,
administration for the
absolutely
steps
not.
they
Yes.
took. Now we have found ourselves where we are, where the government has said, let's unban these things. It's a good idea as well, because I think you and I must have had this conversation, because I've had this conversation with several people. I said, look, whether we like it or not, at this point, we need to encourage the importation of certain things at this crucial time. Because now we have a situation whereby we have just removed subsidy, which the people were benefiting from before now, though it was draining the economy. So what that simply means at the same time is that there's now more money in the hands of government.
Yes.
And you ask a question that, what has changed? How is government going to make up for
Forex.
the additional forex?
The demand.
The demand,
The demand, yes.
Don't also forget too that government now has some plans to get some loans
Okay.
from the African Development Bank and co.
Yeah.
And these loans are coming in dollars.
In dollars,
So
yeah.
that means also
More forex for the
there will
government.
be more
Forex.
forex
Yes.
for our economy.
Yeah.
So with that, I think they will be able to. Then, but beyond the forex, what that simply means, don't forget, people are hungry. People need food.
I agree.
And when people have food, they will bother less about so many other things.
Of course.
And
You know, we have this proverb in Yoruba land that ebi kì í wọnú, kọ́rọ̀ mi ìwọ. Meaning that you cannot be hungry
Yes.
and be rational.
You can't.
An hungry man is an irrational human
Because
being.
an empty stomach is not rational after all.
It's
So
absolutely
that
not.
is also, for instance, when I saw rice on that, I said, fantastic. This is what I've been advocating for. People need to eat. And now, past administration try to ensure that we have these things here. Nigerians, the business people abuse that process, because as soon as our local rice became available, it became costlier. And I don't think I should go and blame God. Though there are those who will also say, why didn't government regulate the price? That is a topic for another day. But if we go into that, we won't leave the studio today. So Nigeria, the previous government did a lot in that angle, but it was abused. The local rice came out, became costlier, and that project became almost like a failed project.
Yeah.
So now, with this unbanned policy, it means that there will be more importers. There will be competition. Nobody will monopolize the market. It means good enough, we have the local right that is almost as good as the foreign. So what is the issue now is the price.
Is the pricing.
It means that by the time A, B, C, D goes to whether Malaysia, India, Brazil, Thailand, I'm trying to remember, Thailand, to bring in rice, there will be competition in the market. There will be inflow. Why were people going to Cotonou to smuggle rice?
Yes.
It is because they were
And even
shocked.
when this ban policy of this items,
Yes.
the menace of smuggling was still out there.
Of course.
Because smuggling is a global phenomenon.
It is.
Not only in Nigeria.
No.
You go to US, people are
And
smuggling.
what do people struggle for actually? People struggle for what they need that they do not have.
Yes.
You don't struggle for what you already have.
Absolutely.
That is why.
And what is affordable.
That is why you see that before now, you see people struggling our petroleum product to neighboring countries.
Yes.
You don't see people smuggling petroleum product into Nigeria from neighboring.
Because they don't have over there.
Yeah, but rather you see people smuggling rice.
Yes.
Even as little as quarter bag of rice, some cups of rice, trying to smuggle them into Nigeria from Benin Republic and those.
In different format, you need to go on that
Yes.
road. You see some women carrying it like a
Tie
baby.
it as baby. You know, you see drivers who put rice into their engine. Half of the engine box is rice, the other part is rice.
They perform different types of magic with their cars.
Just to bring in rice. So with this policy, I believe nobody would. If rice is sold at almost the equivalent of what is sold in Nigeria, for instance, because people are now encouraged to have access to Forex and bring it in. It means you don't have to go and struggle. And it means there will be competition. If Nelson brings his own for 1 naira and I bring mine,
we will even be creating more jobs.
fine, and that is exactly what I'm talking about. We'll create more jobs. Then the local manufacturers will buckle up.
Absolutely, I agree.
Local manufacturers will block, because what we were doing before now was like empowering them at the expense of the rest of us.
And even some of the things we got to know was that even some Nigerians were abusing the window of that ban.
Of course.
In the sense that they will go to CBN that I want to import X item, but at the end of the day, they will go and they will use that fund, you know.
They don't use it for anything.
Yes.
They just get, because they have people in the CBN. That is another issue again.
Honestly,
I think those are some of the challenges that the previous CBN governor will also have to to face. So those are some of the questions, because there
Yes.
were a lot of
A lot of government
irregularities
interventions
took place
to make life
in the
better for
CBN in the
Nigerians.
last
Yes,
8 years.
yes, and
A lot of illegalities, and
yes,
those are part of the reasons why some of those government policies never yielded the desired result. You know, people go to CBN with their contacts, they have access to Forex, they take it out to the bank, and the rest is history. They don't import anything, they don't use it for any commercial distance. So thank God that we are here, we are. Let's see how this goes. And I think to God, that government that has brought this policy should go the extra mile to ensure that those who are always at alert to bring down every government policy, to cash in on every government policy, must be put on check. Because whether you like it or they're always there.
No, for me,
there.
I think it is important for government as much as it has put in place, because this government came into the office with a promise to liberalize the economy. That the president even went as far as going to foreign engagements,
yes,
to tell investors, bring your money here, invest, you can repatriate, yes, your profits, nobody will disturb. So this is also a wake-up call to government that as much as we are going to allow these products to come from outside the country, we must also put in place measures that will protect the local industry, because I know a lot of farmers or businessmen who cannot access credits, who do not have recent, methodological tools to do the job. So it becomes on government to put these things in place, such that as imported goods are coming in, our local economy is not in any way suffer. So thank you very much, Comrade Murphy Abadoni,
it's my pleasure
for being our guest today, for being together on this conversation in which we are both conversant. Till we come your way again next week, I want to thank you for staying true to the program, The Conversation, coming to you live from TV 360. Till we come away again next time, please have a good day. Bye-bye.